The UX Wealth Partners, we're a TAMP, a turnkey asset management platform, but we like to think of ourselves as challenging the status quo of the way that traditional investment management is done. So as a TAMP, we rely heavily on technology and artificial intelligence, as well as machine learning, both in streamlining the operational workflows of our advisors and their firms, and also when it comes to asset management as a whole. So our ideal client is essentially any RIA or financial advisor that's looking to stand out, differentiate themselves from the competition, and grow their business. As we grew, the firm was incepted in 2020, and as we grew, we saw that our operational stack needed to be improved in order to continue to scale and continue to be more efficient. So as we looked at different OMSs in the space, Flyer came up and we engaged with them, and the rest is history. They were an all-in solution for us, both their co-pilot product as well as the Flyer trading network and the fixed connectivity that we needed. When we started with them 3 years ago, our use case looked very different than our use case does today. And so being able to have a partner in that space that understands not only our line of business, but where we're trying to go was something that was very valuable to us. And so we've been able to successfully scale, add different lines of business, and continue to grow in line, kind of using all of the different products and the access that Flyer offers to us along the way. Previously, we were executing at each individual custodian. We were using a rack version of iRebal and a lot of different local databases and different ways to reference and normalize the custodial data. Certain tasks and certain mundane, pre and post trade checks that used to take us hours are now done in minutes with the help of Flyer, Copilot, and obviously the fixed connectivity through their Flyer trading network. Our time to market has drastically increased, and we have lines of business now where we're executing based upon a signal, right, from an artificial intelligence driven portfolio. We're executing in under a minute, under a second in certain circumstances for our held order flow versus a substantial amount of time that may have taken us previously. Being kind of unique, since we're leveraging both their fixed network as well as the Copilot product, like every use case is different, right? So every firm is a little bit different when it comes to implementation, but we were able to have a very streamlined approach, communicate exactly what we needed, and get up and running in relative to a tech implementation timeline extremely quickly. Our dedicated account managers, we have regular calls with them. We have a great relationship. I would say at this point, it's even evolved into a friendship outside of the office. So we've had a great experience with them. Their team is extremely responsive, whether it be their development team, whether it be something that we need, whether it be a modification or some sort of use case that we're looking to enhance or continue to work towards in the future. They're always open to things like that, and they've worked with us very, very well. It's really allowed us to scale the business almost in that bracket of infinitely, right? So as we continue to grow, instead of throwing bodies at problems, right, we would rather invest in quality technology to allow us to be more efficient and allow us to stay lean, right? So what previously, if we look at our scalability in what we were previously using, we'd probably need to build out an 8, 9, 10 person trading desk. Whereas now, as we continue to grow, we don't see it ever being more than 4 or 5, simply because we've relied on technology, we've invested in technology, and we rely on Flyer's relationship with us to be able to scale and to maintain efficiency. We found in certain TAMPs, there's unfortunately these different windows of execution that you come across, right? When an advisor or an RIA client works with a different TAMP, they may need to submit orders by a certain time in order for them to be executed same day. They may need to get their rebalances in at a certain time, or they may only be able to receive signals from certain model providers. We've been able to build out our offering with the flexibility that Flyer gives us to not only bring in-house our portfolios that we leverage and we manage through some strategic partnerships and some exclusive relationships with some of the greatest minds in artificial intelligence and machine learning, but we can also offer that to our end clients. If it's an RIA that has their own book of portfolios, or it's an RIA that has their own investment committee and a couple of CFAs who run their own models, we can populate those models into our platform and trade them right alongside the different strategies that we as UX Wealth Partners offer. And it's really Flyer's flexibility and all of the different technological advancements that they've made and made available to us that allows us to do that in a very seamless and streamlined fashion. So the whole era of getting a portfolio rebalance in before 2 p.m. Eastern kind of disappears. because artificial intelligence and machine learning aren't necessarily bound by time. So whether it's 2:47 on a Tuesday or it's 9:47 on a Monday, we need to be able to go out to the street and execute. And we're able to do that with Flyer. Our customers really enjoy what we do. We bring a lot of value in the ways that we specifically trade, right? We have different rules. There are different ways to go to market for almost any security that you trade. So understanding what you're trading and what the market is doing relative to what you're trading is super effective. And that's all experience, right? Flyer gets us to the market, we then execute from there. So I would say the majority of our clients, we don't really get into the weeds as to our relationship with Flyer, but they know that we have a stellar order management system that allows us to consistently execute across their entire book of business at a moment's notice. And they are very appreciative of that. And then when they see the quality of the execution that's returned, that's kind of a credit to us, right? They see the value that we are adding to their business from a trading standpoint and from an efficiency standpoint, and in measuring things like best execution. When we first started the firm in 2020, we had just over $300 million in assets under management. We are now quickly approaching the 2 billion in AUM number. And so along the way, Flyer has not only seen us grow, but has helped us grow and scale.